going on, YouTube? Just doing a quick update on the Native 75. First off, just want to say thank you to Sean Williams. I was on the PlantedTank.net forum this last week, and I was looking around in the RAOK. For those of you that aren't on the forum, that's Random Act of Kindness. That's where people get on there. They have plants, trimmings, and stuff like that they don't really feel like selling. They just want to give them away. They post them on there. Anyway, Sean Williams had posted on there for some Lobelia cardinalis. Wasn't actually what I was on there looking for, but I've been thinking for a while about getting some of that for this tank. So anyways, I messaged him, and he sent me a good portion of that at just shipping costs. So I'm really grateful to him for that. At the time, I didn't know that the person I was getting them from was someone whose YouTube channel I subscribed to, but his profile picture looked familiar, and turned out to be the same profile picture that he uses for his YouTube channel. And so I was watching a video on his tank later that day and realized, put two and two together and realized who it was. So anyways, just if you haven't checked out Sean Williams' channel, he's got a really nice planted tank. You know, you ought to check it out. I'll put the link in the about section below, but make sure to, you know, check it out and subscribe to his channel. He's a good guy. He deserves that much. He makes pretty good makes really good videos. Yeah, definitely worth your time. Anyways, tank's doing really well. Last video I showed you guys the changes I made in the RAOK. But when I did that, there was a patch right in the middle, right in about right there, that was all bare, and it was a real open spot. I'd said that I was kind of hoping the chain sword would eventually take over that area, but you know, I'm not sure that it will. So I went ahead and put in that Lobelia cardinalis there. Here, I'll zoom in on that right now. Alright, there's the Lobelia cardinalis that I got from Sean Williams. Yeah, he said in the RAOK, it said he was only giving away 3 stems of it, but he sent me quite a bit more than that. And then even a couple of the stems that he had several runners coming off of it, so I was able to propagate it a little bit more. And so it filled in that area nicely. Hopefully it takes down roots. I've tried Lobelia cardinalis before in another tank, but and it didn't do so well. But part of that, the differences between that tank and this tank is that tank was just a gravel substrate. There was no real, nothing really underneath it. This is a dirted tank with a gravel cap on it. So there's that, you know, that organic dirt underneath for it to take root in. And also, I have the same light setup on this one, but it's not quite as high of a tank. So I have a 4-bulb T5 setup on this tank, and the other tank was it was a 120 tall, so it was 24 inches as opposed to the 20 inches. So, and plus the gravel substrate's a little higher on this one, so the light intensity is a little bit better. So hopefully it'll take off and do really well in this tank. You know, I'm dosing the tank with Flourish Excel, so hopefully that'll kind of accelerate the growth, and it'll put down some roots. The gravel cap is a little thick, so it might take a while for the roots to really get down there, for it to really take off. You know, hopefully it'll do really well in the tank. But I like it there. I like it in that spot. I hope it fills out real nicely. If it does fill out real nicely, I may trim back the Ludwigia on the far right side a little bit. Here, let me zoom out and yeah, I might trim the Ludwigia up over here a little bit and put it in front of that. Just kind of push it back more towards the back end of the tank, and put some Lobelia cardinalis in there. So it's a cool plant. It doesn't get extremely tall. You know, it'll kind of act as a good buffer between the dwarf sage in the front and the Ludwigia in the back. Kind of hide some of the bare stems that are exposed at the bottom of the Ludwigia. So anyways, tank's doing really well, fish are doing really well. It's getting to be about that time of year where the creeks are getting flooded, so there's going to be some natives swimming around in the creeks near me. Once the water levels go back down, I should be able to go out and do some micro fishing and possibly put some more. I think I'm going to put a couple more spot fin shiners in here. I don't know that I'm going to put any new species in here, just because I like the balance that I've got, but I might put a couple more spot fin shiners in here. That big male one is he's getting pretty aggressive to the others, so if I put a couple more in here, then that can kind of you know, disperse some of the aggression a little bit, so it's not just the same 2 or 3 fish that are constantly getting nipped at. There's no torn fins or anything like that, no signs of real stress, but he's just kind of a bully. So maybe if I can even get another male in here, give him someone to fight with, someone to spar with, so he's not constantly chasing around the others. But anyways, tank's doing really good. The plants are all growing up fantastic. The Ludwigia, both types of Ludwigia in here, are just growing insanely. The moss is getting to be a little bit of a nuisance, just because you can kind of see on that Ludwigia behind the moss where it just, little pieces of it will break off and attach itself to plants here and there and just start to grow like that, and it kind of chokes the life out of them. So I feel like I'm pretty consistently going in there and pulling pieces of it out. And I'm actually throwing them in a quarantine tank, just the little floaters that are going around. I'm just throwing them in one of my quarantine tanks, just to kind of put it somewhere else so I don't have to mess with it. Don't want to throw it away necessarily, but anyways, I just don't want it taking over all the other plants and just turning into a weed, which it's kind of headed that way. But anyways, yeah, tank's doing really great. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll talk to you later.